The meeting of the Media Commission today saw verbal and physical clashes after Commission Chair DP MP Albana Vokshi demanded the Mayor of Tirana, Arion Veliaj, leave the meeting on the grounds he was not invited to attend. The Prime Minister, Rama, has promised further tax cuts for businesses, declaring the profit tax on earnings up to 140 million lek per annum will be reduced to just 5%, with further benefits for agrotourism businesses. After reporting that in the first 6 months of the year, 10,000 drivers had had punitive measures applied, a 2-hour-long operation by roadside police targeting infringements against pedestrians uncovered a further 35 infringements. Good evening, it's 6 o'clock on Tuesday the 19th of June 2018. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country translated into English. The debate on the National Theatre in the Media Commission has resulted in a physical clash between opposition MPs and Tirana's Mayor, Arion Veliaj. The Parliamentary Commission on Media summoned the Minister of Culture to discuss the National Theatre, but instead resulted in a verbal conflict between the Mayor of Tirana and the Chair of the Commission, Albana Vokshi. The latter asked several times for Veliaj to leave, as he was not listed on the invitation to attend the Commission meeting. Vokshi decided to interrupt the Commission's work in order to continue after the break, but after the meeting recommenced, Veliaj refused to leave, leading to immense irritation of the opposition. The Democratic MP ordered the National Guard to remove Mayor Veliaj from the venue by force. At this time, the Democratic MP, Flamur Noka, approached the Mayor in order to remove him, despite the resistance faced from the Democrats from the Guard. After more than 30 minutes of tense irritation, Arion Veliaj left the Commission, with the remaining Socialist MPs and Minister Kumbaro following closely behind him. After the disorder and tension, Arion Veliaj presented to journalists in the corridor of the Assembly in order to clarify the reason for his presence in the Commission, though he did not leave without taking the opportunity to sling accusations against the opposition. This proposal for the theatre only opens negotiations. I have publicly invited the actors, even those who want to become cultural directors. If we are in the negotiation stage, we can then choose to agree or agree to disagree, said Arion Veliaj. While Veliaj was talking to the media, DP MPs Flamur Noka and Clevis Baliu descended from the stairs to interrupt the Mayor's speech. Meanwhile, SP MP Talon Bala, accompanied by the Socialist members of the Commission, requested the dismissal of Albana Vokshi for her behaviour towards Mayor Arion Veliaj. This situation was accompanied, and here I intend to be fierce, with acts of violence by Ervin Saliani and Flamur Noka against Guard workers. It should be noted that this is not the first instance of violence from either of these deputies. I call on the Democratic Party and its chair, Lulzim Basha, to order restraint from his MPs over such violent and shameful acts. Also incredibly embarrassing is Mrs. Vokshi's behaviour. We are considering the provisions and regulatory rules in order to demand the dismissal of Mrs. Vokshi. The direction of this Commission in this way is simply intolerable, said Talon Bala. The Democrat MP Albana Vokshi responded to this demand by the Socialist group as absurd. No more shall I be intimidated by the absurd proposals of Talon Bala, who says he is considering my dismissal. Neither I nor the opposition MPs in this Commission, nor any opposition MPs, will give up on the truth. We will continue, and we will invite Minister Kumbaro to attend this Commission on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and every day after that. We will demand transparency, as we are determined to stop this criminal act, declared Albana Vokshi. Although the Socialists left the Commission alongside Minister Mirela Kumbaro and Mayor Arion Veliaj, the Democrats continued their work for the remainder of the Commission's meeting. The President of the Republic, Ilir Meta, said Albania's foreign policy should be far from influenced by the politics of the day. His statement was made during a meeting between the head of the state and the Council of Albanian Ambassadors, which was led by the President of the Council, former Minister of Foreign Affairs Besnik Mustafaj. The purpose of this meeting was to get acquainted with the mission and program of this organisation. The Council of Ambassadors has been established by a group of former ambassadors of the Republic of Albania and in cooperation with the institution of the Presidency, in service to foreign policy for Albania. The establishment of this council, said President Meta, is an invaluable initiative that will help the contribution, experience and professional advice on important foreign policy issues. The comprehensive presence of many personalities of international diplomacy and relations is a guarantee for the affirmation of the Council of Ambassadors as an independent and national-orientated forum. The President also said that our foreign policy should be far from influenced by the interests of daily politics, maturing and focusing on sustainable national interests and building on long-term credibility to our allies and partners. At a meeting with tour operators in Durrës, Prime Minister Edi Rama promised a fiscal package that significantly lowered business taxes. As he introduced the measures for the tourist season, the Prime Minister promised a threefold reduction in profit tax for businesses earning up to 140 million lek per year. Practically 91% of all businesses in Albania will see their profit tax rate reduced from 15% to just 5%, reiterated Edi Rama. The Prime Minister said it was also working on the ability to register business transactions online, declaring that in this way the removal of the fiscal cash register will be enabled. Real-time registration of transactions is a necessity, and new technology gives us this opportunity. The new processes will help to facilitate the heavy load of accounting work and provide smoother business operations to companies, clarified Edi Rama. As he called on migrants and entrepreneurs to invest in agrotourism, the Prime Minister promised further infrastructure investments. In regards to agrotourism, we have decided to offer the same treatment as for 4- or 5-star hotels, reducing VAT to only 6%, leaving profit tax at 5%, as well as removing fees for construction permits and much more, added Edi Rama. There is still work to be done for the formalisation of tourism businesses, Rama said, but according to him, many steps forward have been made in these recent years. He went on to add that this is attested to by the increased presence of tourists from Scandinavian countries. He declared his government's ambition is for tax reductions and to increase investment in order to achieve the goal of receiving 10 million tourists annually within the next 10 years. Of the 36,000 tenders in total, 10,000 of them have been held without competition. This accusation was made by the opposition members in the Economics Commission during the hearing for candidates for members of the Procurement Commission. Deputy Chair of this commission, DP MP Yorida Tabaku, said that despite these violations, the Public Procurement Commission did not take any concrete measures. But for the head of the commission, SP MP Erion Brache, these charges are purely political. This debate took place during a meeting where the candidates for members of the Procurement Commission were being heard. A spike in recent accidents involving pedestrians getting injured has caused police to take a number of measures, including administrative measures such as fining drivers. The road police have spent about 2 hours monitoring traffic in some of Tirana's road axes, noting that a significant number of drivers do not respect pedestrian rights at zebra crossings. For this reason, 35 vehicle drivers have been handed fines. The time spent was enough to analyse the trend of some of the major road rule violations and to understand the low level of road education. It is clear how small an importance is placed on human life by so many vehicle drivers in the capital, declared a police statement. Only for the first 6 months of this year, the Tirana police station has collected the following data. 236 vehicle drivers arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol, which is 44 more than the same period last year, and 10,000 drivers punished for mobile phone use while driving, 2,900 more than the same period last year. Despite us continuing with the use of wheel clamps to prevent illegal parking, both instances of this wrongdoing, as well as illegal overtaking, are on the rise, further explained the police statement. Police say there has been a drastic drop in the number of findings for non-use of the safety belt, with 8,500 less penalties applied than when compared to the same period in the previous year. This indicates a positive response from road users regarding the obligation to secure the safety belt, a reaction that police and concerned citizens hope will also be reflected with other road safety rules. The difficult situation faced a year ago in the fight against fires has made the Durrës Firefighting Department draft a more detailed plan of measures for the hot season that has already started. 4 firefighting stations have been set up at strategic points in the coastal city and in the periphery. Fatmir Tare, firefighting commander in Durrës, said during an interview for Aura News that a 24-hour firefighting service has been scheduled across the 3 main stations of Durrës, Jiri Lalzit and Plaji. But despite the measures taken, firefighters in Durrës appear to be faced with a difficult situation this summer in regards to performing their duties. The main problem is dilapidated vehicles, some of which have been in operation since 1970. The water supply for firefighting vehicles to extinguish the fires is expected not only from the water supplier, but also from business entities that have a large deposit in the Jiri Lalzit area, as well as in Manas. However, emergency response requirements have been applied to all physical and legal entities operating in the coastal and wider area to ensure measures are taken to provide additional teams and tools for preventing and extinguishing fires. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.